What's going on, guys? It's Tyler here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about one of the worst movies ever. I was actually go as far as to say the worst movie ever made. It's called Poultrygeist Night of the Chickendead. Poultrygeist Night of the Chickendead. It's so stupid I could barely even pronounce it. It came out in 2006. Had a budget of $500,000 and made like $22,000. So the guy lost money on it big time. There's a certain little thing that happened. I'm not going to name it specifically because I'm going to get demonetized. But it's happening and everybody's in quarantine mode. My county's in quarantine mode. So I sat back and I thought, what is there for me to do? I mean, I never watched Breaking Bad. I can binge that. I always heard The Godfather was a good movie. I always heard The Sopranos was a good show back in the day. Maybe I'll binge watch one of these shows or watch a good movie or something. And then I decided, I said to myself, hey Tyler, remember that movie you watched like 10 years ago on Netflix that was the worst movie you ever seen in your life? Well, let's just watch that. So that's what I did, and it sucks. This movie is called Poultrygeist Night of the Chickendead. So rather than watch anything good or do anything useful with my time, we're going to talk about this terrible movie. So this movie, Poultrygeist Night of the Chickendead, is I guess a play on words of Poltergeist, which I've never seen, and Night of the Living Dead, which I have seen. Which Poltergeist is like a ghost movie. I think a poltergeist is a ghost, and then Night of the Living Dead zombies. The movie starts out with your two main characters, Arby and Wendy. So you've been put on blast, fast food chains, because we're making fun of you with our names. Oh! Arby and Wendy are dry humping in a cemetery, and they decide to go all the way. And when they do so, they get naked. This movie has tons of nudity. I watched it when I was like real young. It was on Netflix, and I didn't recall it being this movie being this like gross. And really, what they try to do is give you as many naked girls as possible to try to get you to watch the movie because the rest of it's terrible. And you could just look up naked girls on the internet if you really wanted to. So I don't really see the point. You know, I'm not like, oh, this movie's got naked girls, I'm going to be watching it 4 times a week for the rest of my life. It's stupid. But regardless, this movie has tons of naked girls, tons of sex scenes, and they're all awful. Everything about this movie's terrible. So they're having sex in an Indian burial ground, and that begins to bring zombies up from underground. They're grabbing at both of them. They think that it's just each other, you know, grabbing each other because they're all in the zone. They're taking each other to Pound Town, so they're just all in the zone. They don't realize it's zombies that are grabbing them. They thought it's, you know, each other. Arby gets a finger in his butt and thinks it's Wendy. And this movie's terrible. And so, and that basically leads them to, you know, running away because there's like the guy that's supposed to like watch over the graveyard at night, or maybe he's just like a serial killer. He comes out of a headstone, or comes out behind like a rock or something with like an axe in one hand, and his other hand is grabbing a certain part of his body, and he was having a good time watching these two go at it. And yeah, that's the beginning of the movie. It fast forwards to later. One college semester later. I never went to college. I don't know how long a college semester exactly is, but I can tell you, if I would have went to college, I probably wouldn't be making this video right now. So go to college, kids. So we fast forward one semester later, where Arby drives up to the burial ground, and it's called American Chicken Bunker now.
What happened to the ancient Tomahawk tribe's sacred Indian burial ground that used to be here?
They bulldozed it and replaced it with another one of those fast food restaurants.
You have sexual things going on at the Indian burial ground, defiling the burial ground, and then you have a fast food restaurant being built on it. So nobody cares about the Native Americans in this movie. Arby basically claims they're a bunch of sensitive white people, social justice warriors, which this movie came out in 2006, so it's kind of ahead of his time with all that. The first song starts, and basically the song's about him wanting to get a job at American Chicken Bunker just to spite Wendy. Wendy is protesting with her newfound lesbian girlfriend, Mickey. So you got McDonald's now, and Wendy's are together. They're lesbians, I guess, doing lesbian things. I don't really know. But they're protesting.
I think I'll go inside and get myself a job. As Jesus said, as he died, Yo, Biznatch, please. Revenge is a dish best served fried.
And now this whole song is about Arby wanting to get a job just to spite them because they're like protesting the chicken restaurant. The manager's name is Denny. He claims that he's going to have a fast food restaurant in the future, his own chain called Dennys. And the joke is that Dennys already exists. Everybody's been to Dennys before. Haha, Denny's. Oh man, oh shucks, I can't name it Dennys. Oh man. So this movie's an hour and 42 minutes long. The jokes don't hit. I didn't laugh once. Another guy is named Carl Jr.
Life hillbilly piece of trailer trash shit here. This is Carl Jr.
I know, Arby. We was on the debating team in high school together.
That's right! You see, I was anti-bestiality and he was pro.
One of the other coworkers is named Paco. They call him Paco Bell. Oh, Paco Bell. He's like taco with a P. He's Paco. The jokes don't hit. I didn't laugh once. Oh, wow, that was good. And then we have a Muslim lady wearing a burqa named Hummus.
It's not hummus. It's hummus. Like the dip. Hummus. I swear sometimes I get so angry I just want to explode.
They just basically make like racist jokes the whole time about Muslims, and the whole movie's like one big racist joke.
Now I'll be watching you, Al Jazeera. Watching you like CNN. Now, Paco Bell, show Arby here how we make the general's secret two-herb chicken.
At one point, Denny tells Hummus he's going to be watching her like CNN. And those are the kinds of jokes that when they actually try to hit you with a joke, that's the joke, and it's just like terrible.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
It seems as if when Hummus talks, it's almost like they do voiceover for her whole voice. So when she talks, they like overdo it with the expression in her eyebrows. This is a robbery. You better not move. Give me your wallet and your phone. If you even move a muscle, I'm gonna hurt you real bad. I got a lot of bandanas. It just looks weird. Superstar actor Ron Jeremy, who runs in. Ron Jeremy, he's been in all kinds of adult movies, I guess. And he comes in to warn about the Indians that are gonna come. They're the Indian spirits. They're gonna come kill us or whatever he's mumbling about. And then we get some customers that come in. And the first customer is this big fat guy with glasses on named Jared. I wonder who they're talking about. And with this name, I bet it's not the guy from Subway. Oh wait, it is, because everybody's got to have a fast food name for some reason. Green pulsating egg. There's all these like green pulsating eggs. I guess they're like haunted spirit eggs. On his plate, he eats it, and he's got to go to the bathroom because this egg is hurting him pretty bad.
Huh?
Wow, Jared.
Poops everywhere, and then he comes out skinny. He looks like in Mortal Kombat when you would rip off the skin off of a character, and it would just be like meat and bones.
I'm skinny! I'm skinny! Yip, yip, yahoo!
Hey, Jared.
It's and so for some reason, I guess that's what happened to this guy. He didn't turn into a chicken. Everybody else that had anything else to do with anything in this movie, in terms of the eggs or anything chicken-wise, they turned into a chicken, a zombie chicken, which we haven't seen yet. But this guy just turned into not fat. So I don't get that at all. Now we're introduced to the main bad guy in the movie. We're 31 minutes in, and it is General Leroy. General Leroy is a fictitious Colonel Sanders. And he's like typical, like cocky, rich, Southern business owner. He thinks everything's great. Yeah, we're making a new American chicken bunker. That was probably a bad accent, but you get the point. And he starts singing a song when he shows up.
Come on, and a two, and a three. Troubled and this confusion all about? Tell me all of your concerns and I'll sort your problems out.
Well, I used to be quite slim, you see, but thanks to the fast food industry, I've gained some weight. I'm big and fat. What have you got to say about that? What have you got to say about that?
Then he starts defending the American chicken bunker.
It's not our fault, our food's nutritious. Somewhat fresh and quite delicious. Your big fat mouth tells big fat lies, so plug it up with our lard fried thigh.
So now we find out that the guy that was outside dancing with the fake Colonel Sanders in the chicken suit is future Arby, and he still is working for this chicken place, which is really weird because it's only been open for a day, so I don't know how future Arby, who's like in his, I don't know, 50s or whatever, has been working here for like 20-something years if it just opened. Yeah, so apparently future Arby's been working there his entire life. That's how it turned out for him in his future life. And the future Arby in this chicken suit goes to tell current Arby that you need to get out of the fast food business, essentially. He's trying to warn him that you gotta go find a real job because this ain't it, chief. Meanwhile, we got Paco Bell throwing chicken beaks and feet into a grinder, and he decides he needs to give it his own little special sauce, if you know what I'm saying, to really get his point across that all this stuff is bad, and he's actually agrees with the protesters, and this place sucks. And then he gets pushed into the grinder by some sort of zombified chicken, I'm guessing, and he explodes, and his blood is all everywhere. And of course, Hummus gets the blame because she's those darn Muslims. They're always killing people supposedly. So both Arbys start to sing a song about their future, his future. Future Arby tries to spell out a word while he's singing.
Earn your BFA or your FUCK'd.
And it's literally just like none of the hand signals he does when he's trying to matches the letters at all. Before we get any more into this movie, I want you guys to understand that this man in the chicken suit, this man that is future Arby. You ready for this bombshell? I don't think you're ready for this bombshell. He's the director of the movie. So everything that we just watched and everything that we're going to see the rest of the movie falls directly on his shoulders. So a priest comes in and he claims that there's a severed penis in his sloppy Jose, which is one of the sandwiches. So instead of if I found a severed penis in my food, I would be disgusted. I'd never even look in the direction of that restaurant again. This priest must be a better man than me because he just is okay with, oh, we'll get you another sandwich on the house. Severed penis in my last sandwich. I'll just take another one. I'm not worried that there's going to be some other severed body part. I'm sure you guys, whatever you guys were doing before to where you had severed penises in your sandwich, I'm sure that was an issue. But I'm also sure you guys got it solved because, severed penis, that should be an easy fix, right? It's a severed penis in a sandwich. Ask for a new one. Wow, what am I talking about? So Paco comes back to life as the sloppy Jose sandwich. And he tells Arby, as Arby is plating the sloppy Jose, he tells Arby that the evil spirits are coming from him because Paco Bell is dead, but he can come back. But since he's dead, he can speak to the afterlife or something. So it's like basically Paco is the middleman between Arby and the spirits, and Paco is trying to tell Arby that the spirits are coming after him, and he needs to do something about it.
By building an ACB on sacred ground, the General united two of the most disenfranchised races on the planet. Displaced Native Americans and the billions of chickens sent to the concentration camps. There hasn't been such a lethal combination of chicken and Indians since tandoori was introduced to the American people.
Wait a minute, hold it. Now, what Hollywood Scientologist actor is gay?
Pay attention, stupid! If you fail, the virus will spread, and those of you who aren't infected will be relocated to free-range white meat reservation coops.
Meanwhile, Carl Jr. is having sexual relations with a raw chicken. Oh my god. What am I doing? I probably sound like a crazy person right now. I gotta sound like a crazy person. I mean, wow. This chicken that Carl Jr. is having relations with somehow turns into like this monster and starts like oozing this green stuff and also blood because he like bit him off down there. Hummus finally cleaned the kitchen, so that's good. But here comes Monster Wiener guy, and the kitchen's gonna be a mess again, and you gotta clean it again, Hummus. Oh, and he sprays all over the chicken, but you have to pay attention to the chicken. That plays a big part later. The fact that he just sprayed the chicken with all this blood and whatever the green stuff is. Hummus shoves her mop stick up the butt of Carl Jr., which in turn goes all the way through his body and kills the monster. And that is how monsters are normally killed in movies. If you think otherwise, you just haven't seen a lot of movies, because that's always how it happens. So now, pretty much everybody's kind of on high alert. Everybody kind of knows what's going on. There's still, let me remind you, there's still protesters outside the restaurant, and there's still customers inside the restaurant waiting for their chicken sandwich. And all this stuff is happening behind in the kitchen. Could you imagine if you went to like McDonald's or something, and there was guys getting their junk bit off, and there was like evil zombie monsters and blood all over the walls, and you were just standing there waiting for your food? Like, you could see it all. Somehow this fast food restaurant has like all these rooms completely closed off that you can't see, just in the lobby of a McDonald's. Most of the time you can see most of the kitchen when you're just like inside of a fast food restaurant. Apparently not this store. Apparently this is like a whole, I guess it's like a bunker, past the kitchen. Kind of a little funny play on words there. It's like a bunker, and it's called American Chicken Bunker, and wow. Okay. So anyway, movie General Leroy comes to the conclusion, these protesters outside, we're going to be able to switch their thoughts once we give them some chicken. But he's got a mole. He's got an insider. He's got somebody helping him. The lesbian girlfriend of Wendy, known as Mickey from the beginning, she's the one that was out there leading the protest. Well, Mickey actually is on General Leroy's side. And since she's leading the protest, well, the protesters have 100% faith in her. But when she eats a bite of the chicken that General Leroy brings out there, well, the protesters are like, what? You ate the chicken? You're not supposed to eat the chicken. But then since she did it, they did it, and now they're all hooked, and now all the protesters are turned into customers, and now you got all these customers coming in to eat. And it is actually probably the only smart thing, kind of like a cool plot twist, like, oh wow, you weren't expecting that. That's the only time this movie maybe does anything slightly intelligent. Otherwise, it's just like, I don't know, it's almost like a 5-year-old drawing in class of whatever. Look, Mom, I drew zombie chickens in math class. I drew zombie chickens in my... By the way, you got to be a pretty messed up kid to draw zombie chickens at 5 years old. But you get my point. This whole movie is just like some little kid's like nightmare come to life. There's like no rhyme or reason or anything other than this little small section here where we find out that Mickey is actually in cahoots with the Colonel, the General Leroy. Wendy's out there as well, and when Wendy sees Mickey eating the chicken, she's like, feels like she's been betrayed. Once all the protesters decide that they're good on the chicken now, the only one left outside is Wendy. And Wendy is sad and she's crying because her girlfriend, ate the chicken or whatever. She just thinks her girlfriend had a change of heart. She doesn't know that she was a mole yet. Then she goes into the manager's office, which is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure the manager was the black dude, Denny. But I guess when you're the owner or whatever, you can do what you want. So he's in the manager's office with the door closed. Wendy goes up to the door. She thinks that Mickey and the General are going to Pound Town, but she opens the door to find... So she opens the door to find him with a bottle in his hand, a diaper on, like a baby thing that you used to put on babies back in the day on their heads. And Mickey is powdering him like a baby. So he's got some sort of weird baby diaper fetish. And this is the kind of stuff that I don't get how somebody just comes up with this. Like, how does this exist? How does this become a movie that exists. I mean, you literally have to just like come up with anything and just somehow put it in. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Wendy is then heartbroken that she finds out they were in cahoots the whole time. Before, she just thought, oh, the chicken was so good, Mickey changed her mind. But no, Wendy finds out they're in cahoots the whole time. So remember that green chicken we were talking about? Everybody that ate it got sick. And now the Wendy and kind of like the news media basically tell the general that he needs to take a bite of this chicken to prove that it's okay. Because he's saying, oh, it's not the chicken. I don't know why they're getting sick, but it ain't the chicken. And they're like, well, you need to eat the chicken to prove it, so eat the chicken. So he's holding this chicken that has like green and yellow stuff all over it. It's disgusting. And he takes a bite, and yeah.
No, I just remembered I got my water aerobics class in about a half hour. I can't afford to get cramps.
A bite. And all of a sudden, he hatches an egg, which a chicken comes out, and he bites the head off the chicken to kill it, getting all this green sludge in his mouth and everywhere, all over his face. And then we're introduced to our first zombie, like an hour and 4 minutes into the movie. There's only 38 minutes left, and our boy Carl Jr. is our first zombie. And the movie really takes off from here. It goes from a 0-star movie to a 1,000,000-star movie. It's just this movie becomes an instant classic. So Carl Jr. is a zombie with, he's got a beak that grows, he's got feathers, and he's got an Indian headdress. Because you have to remember, a little Indian feather, I guess is what I should say. Because you have to remember, it's not only chickens, they're also on a Native American burial ground. So they also gonna have some Native American stuff going on too. So you got a mix of zombie spirits and Native American spirits in this movie, I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me. The general also becomes a giant chicken. As a giant, I don't know if he's exactly a zombie or what he is. He's more like just a chicken, a big evil chicken. But and then all the other workers besides our main characters, Hummus and Arby, Wendy, all the other side characters that you just saw in the background working there. They all become zombies, and so did the protesters.
I know it's fattening, but I love the skin.
I hate the skin.
Still some people at tables eating, which I don't understand that. But all the people that are eating that are just normal humans, they're all starting to hatch eggs out of their body, which I don't understand. But now Mickey is on everybody else's, the good side, considering that the general's a big evil chicken now. And then all of a sudden, here comes future Denny. Here comes Arby. Here comes future Arby, old Arby, with an M16 assault rifle. And he kills like all the zombies that are inside the restaurant. And then old Arby, young Arby kills Chicken Denny, because Denny gets bit and he turns into a chicken zombie thing. But now you still got all these zombies outside. We there found, I think one last customer comes up to him and says, hey, I'm looking for my daughter. I can't find her. I think they decide to go outside and look for the daughter because she wasn't inside. Mickey dresses up as a chicken as the chicken mascot that originally future Arby was, because she decides, well, if I dress up as a chicken, the zombie chickens won't recognize me because they're all just chickens. They'll just think I'm a chicken like them and they won't try to kill me. So she walks all the way outside until she gets to the Native American guy from the beginning of the movie, and he's actually not a zombie chicken somehow. And it's like, ooh, wow. And she gets like scared by him because she didn't expect to see him there because he's like not a zombie. And and so then she gets killed you assume she gets killed and eaten by zombies because she like screamed and made noise. The mom goes into the back of the kitchen for some reason. Her head gets chopped off instantly. It was Carl Jr. that did it. They like pretty much apprehend Carl Jr. as he's a zombie. They get him under the ground. Instead of killing him, they ask him, I know there's still a little bit of you in there, Carl Jr. I know you're not a complete monster yet. What are we going to do to stop this? And then he says,
whiskey.
Carl, I need you to focus. First tell me how to kill them, and then I'll give you a drink.
Alcohol, Arby. Alcohol.
For some reason, all these chicken zombies, if they touch alcohol, they die. So, they didn't realize that yet because Arby's a goddamn idiot. But we will see that soon. Meanwhile, Chicken Mickey finds a way back into the restaurant. They take the chicken off of her, and she's now a chicken zombie. The chicken head, the mascot, and now she's a chicken zombie. So then she almost kills Wendy. She has this big chicken head that grows out of her private part area and tries to kill Wendy with it. Once again, I don't know where people come up with this, and I don't know why I'm reviewing this movie, but I am. Arby is struggling to kill chicken zombie Mickey, and then Hummus drinks a big bottle of meat steroids, because that's a thing, I guess, and she gets huge and massive, like ridiculously massive, and you think she's about to, kick some serious ass, and she just, passes out, and that was pretty much disappointing. I was like, wow, I wanted to see her, go beast mode. But Wendy and Arby, somehow there's a keg in the middle of the restaurant, and Wendy and Arby walk by it, and Wendy goes, Arby, beer.
Drunk. Now is not the time. Wendy, do you remember when I asked the Carl Jr. zombie how to kill the monsters? And he was like, alcohol! And then he died? Well, I was thinking, what if he wasn't really being a dick and he was trying to tell me that alcohol kills them?
Kill him. Then by the time he comes out of his flashback, Wendy kills a bunch of the zombies, I believe, including zombie Mickey, with the sprayer on the keg. And then more zombies come in through the door. They spray them with the keg. And now we're in the end game. We're in the end game now. They're still looking for that little girl. And Hummus actually is off in the distance, or wherever. She's wherever. It's just Wendy and Arby right now. Hummus calls them into the back. They find some other separate room with alien eggs all over it.
Hey! Hummus, didn't you die?
No time to explain. Follow me.
Let's go!
The little girl's in there, and they find her. And all of a sudden, so the general zombie comes in the room, and it's just those three, the three characters and the kids, so 4. And the general zombie comes in, the zombie chicken, and then a bunch of other zombies come in. They'll stop and let Arby talk to Wendy about how much he loves her and all this stuff. Great comedy. The chicken is checking his time, like, hey, I'm supposed to attack you now. Why are you taking so long? You little silly rascal, you. And then Hummus takes off her Muslim garb she's got on. Hummus is going to suicide bomb the place, apparently, in order to save everybody. Arby and Wendy and the little girl somehow sneak out. Hummus, they let all the zombies in. Hummus blows herself up. Everybody blows up. And happy ending. The movie is just, it's great. But there's more. We're at the very end here. You think the movie's over. You got Wendy driving, Arby in the passenger seat. They give the little girl a Miller Lite in order to really, I don't know why, but they do. And she's like, starts to feel a little sick, and they're like, oh, it must be the beer that's talking. That must be the beer talking. Haha, little 6-year-old girl is drinking a beer. And she pulls a big, huge chicken egg out from somewhere of her body. I don't know if she burped it up or what. I don't even want to think about it. It was honestly the size of her. Like the egg was the size of her abdomen. So I don't even know where she would pull it from. But let's not go there. And she pulls it out, shows them. Wendy and Arby both go, oh, and then that's the movie. They flip their car, and then you get a remake of the Thriller music video in the credits. And that's the end. That's my review of Poultrygeist Night of the Chickendead. The movie is all around awful. There's no redeeming qualities. The little plot twist in the middle is the only somewhat clever thing. In terms of any of the jokes in the movie, I didn't laugh at any of them even once. And it amazes me that somebody actually made this movie. It also amazes me that the director of this movie would show his face anywhere, ever, let alone be put in the movie and be like one of the main characters of the movie. I mean, unless you probably don't know he's a director, so it's probably like, but I looked at the cast, this dude is the director of the movie, and he's one of the main characters. It's like, I'm looking at this guy like, why are you doing this to me? But I really should be saying it to myself, because I'm the one who decided to watch the movie. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and slap a like on it. I'm just doing dumb videos for fun, and this is definitely one of the dumbest videos I've ever made. Comment down below, say something nice, or tell me this video sucks, and subscribe if you're new here to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and don't ever watch this movie. I cut out a lot of the sexual stuff and some of the gross stuff that I can't show on YouTube. This movie gets gross, this movie gets weird, and don't ever watch it. Trust me. Talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Love ya.